Get me out of here. I'm sure everyone outside will be very happy with me now. 'Cause I'm just such a great guy. Half the time they just like smell the Jedi on me. How fucking heavy is that gun? Like, there's like no guns people ever use in real life that are that big. Because it's on top of being that long, which is already a little extra. It's like a giant tube. It's a whole lot. Hello.
I'm not here to get you out of trouble if you do something stupid, student. Enter the tombs at your own risk.
I'm good. Pretty much dealt with everything for you. Like, all future students are going to be really, out of things to do around here. Like, it's gonna be really disappointing for them, honestly. I do wonder how many people you could have turned to the light side, because there was a few of them, and it's like, wow, it's like, you just say like one right dialogue options, and you like flip the entire ideology of somebody. And I probably missed some of them, right? Like, I already got like 2 or 3 of them. What if it's like 7 people? You just like say the right thing once and flip, their entire personality switches out into a different person and they rethink their entire life. I don't even have to use force persuasion. It's not even that straight up death stick scenes where it's like, you don't want to sell me death sticks, I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life. Ebon Hawk. Red 47. Let's see. That's the Star Wars spice thing. Star Wars spice. Spice was named for a type of illicit substance or substances in demand throughout the galaxy. Spice was mined on the spice mines of Kessel. The Kessel Run. Where Wookiee slaves were worked to death, turning medicinal spice mineral into a recreational drug. Ah. So it's not just like, it's not just a drug, but it's a like blood diamond of drugs. So that's pretty bad. Mandalorian weapons cache. Oh yeah, they're trying to get out a Mandalorian prisoner, but I couldn't talk to him because my skills are too shit, basically. I didn't finish reporting this guy's death because I said too many impressive things to Uthar, and so after I said too many impressive things to Uthar, he cut me off. And so some quests related to Uthar just kind of ended. Oh, I thought they were fighting for a second there. What? Jolie, where did you come from? Oh, yeah, like, I think I can't turn in the quest now about, maybe I can still free the Mandalorian or something? It's left, then left. Yeah, Uthar cut me off. I reported a bunch of things to him, and then he just kind of was like, alright, get out of here. It's time for you. You win. Go to the thing. And it's like, damn, I did too many side quests. I, like, capped out. This guy's still standing in the corner waiting politely for me to, like, do this interrogation off camera without him noticing. Let's see. Activate the console. Computer skill. Let's see what I can do. I'm currently using this dexterity helm. Don't I have a computer skill helm? Demolitions and awareness. Computer use interface monitor. Apply a serum to induce catatonic state. God damn it. Can I get there eventually? Like, is it still a dice roll? There we go.
Ranunu prata doko shirkasha. O natipon nang gudu jijiba. Jipikaza. Doba pache o joneji yokolawish. We ita.
What have you done? I told you not to put the prisoner into shock, didn't I? Now how are we supposed to find out where the weapon cache is? Uthar will be furious. I may as well take this fool and dump him somewhere. He's useless to us. I cannot believe you are so incompetent.
Yeah. Well, that worked out for him. I remembered you, buddy. I got you on the way out. Where's my... Yeah, for binocular enhancer. There we go. Back to that. My excessive dex stat. Hey, my beam! Okay. That's good. I can't reach its location, but I could tell Uthar. Yeah, that's not happening. Cool, it's another incomplete quest that's going to be permanently in my quest log. My quest log is just full of a bunch of quests that are not only incomplete now, but will remain incomplete forever. Because they can only be turned into Uthar, who I killed. Which technically makes them complete, but... game don't know that. I feel like if I ever made a game, that's like one of the things I would fixate on that like doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that much at least. There's all these things that matter about making a game, but on the list of things that don't matter, one of the things that definitely like, it's like a little, just like it's a thorn for me, is when quests become uncompletable for one reason or another, but they stay in your quest log as incomplete forever. Because they just didn't account for that outcome correctly as like closing off the logic of it. So I can't tell him I killed the hermit, and I can't tell him that I don't want to tell him about the other thing, but it's there. Were you here before?
If you must know, I intend to take the first ship off this rock. Why should that interest you? I trust you got whatever you wanted from the tombs?
Why are you leaving exactly?
I already said, didn't I? I don't want to still be around when they start asking questions about you.
But where will you go?
Why do you care? I've no intention of opposing you.
Perhaps you could go back to the Jedi. I did.
I don't know. I'll think about it. Just leave me alone, Juhani.
How do you know Juhani?
Why don't you ask her?
Because I asked you?
She and I were students together at Tatooine for a time. We were close, and we shared doubts about the Jedi's ways. I left for the Sith because I thought it would be better here. It looks like Juhani changed her mind and stayed with the Jedi after all. Your doing, maybe? Anyway, I'm done with the Jedi, the Sith, and with her. Just leave me alone.
Never mind.
Then leave me be.
He's odd. I just came, all I did was come by and ask questions, and he has connection to Juhani, which like shouldn't be that big of a deal because he's I assume he's known for being a fallen Jedi. So, which is what many Sith are. So it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that he knows some Jedi, because a lot of them know Jedi. But like instantly he's fucking out of here because he saw us. Like he's like, nope, my whole life I'm quitting. No more being a Sith, no more being a Jedi. I just, you coming up, you showing up changed everything somehow. I'm annoyed that I can't get that guy's items. Juhani, why is your dialogue so broken? And people are saying that like apparently part of the reason why she's forgettable as a character is because her quests, her logic, the sequence of things she says just glitches out entirely, so you don't even get half of her story. Like they're saying, apparently like we skipped a bunch of her story, and it's not because I did anything weird, it's because like she's so buggy as a character that like half the dialogue that she has doesn't even play normally, and you have to like hack the game to get it out of her because the game's just a mess. Which, what a bummer. But on top of that, yeah, like her messenger coming in, which is her attempted slave master character. That character is also so buggy that he bugs out messengers for the rest of the game, and then you can't get any more. So that puts an end to basically every companion quest in the game if you haven't done them yet, because all of those companions also are largely their quests are largely caused by having a messenger come by and be like, oh yeah, wow, Karth, I saw your son once, and so on, like that kind of stuff. So that's we'll go right past the whole like incompletable quest thing, where it's like, oh, you still have quests in your log, but you can't finish them now, so they'll just sit there forever. Way worse than that is that kind of stuff where various quests in this game are just completely bugged. That's like the one that stuck out to me is like, I of course had a game-breaking bug when I played this game as like a 13 or 14-year-old, where I couldn't beat the game because of the Karth glitch. But just hearing the sheer number of things that went wrong with this game, I'm actually like really taken aback by like kind of like the state it was shipped in part because the people who made KOTOR 2 and people who made like Fallout New Vegas are kind of infamous for making these kind of rushed, buggy but inspired sequels to other people's games. Like they're often seen as being the best entry in the given franchise, but they're also like really buggy and whatnot, and that's partly because they're given so little time to make KOTOR 2 and New Vegas that like it's just, you get what you get. Like that's basically what they were allowed. But like it's interesting that those games are famous for being buggy when KOTOR 1 and Fallout 3 are fucking, they're not angels. they're kind of a mess in their own right. So it's weird that the reputation is applied so inconsistently from developer to developer and project to project, because like these games are like falling apart in some cases. It's a kind of a bummer. What is going to happen now? Because yeah, like I did it. You discovered the last of the star maps and now have this hyperspace coordinates that lead to the Starforge and the final confrontation with Malak. You only hope you aren't too late, for Basila's sake, and the sake of the entire galaxy. Right, we're here to get the star map pieces, so like, I guess it's just gonna be like on my map now, right? I'm a little antsy now. I'm realizing like, wow, we're like near the end. Like I super, like everything from this point forward is just new shit. The Starforge system. Ah. I'll use you as a sampler. Is there new dialogue because I got all the Starforge pieces?
Yes, what's on your mind?
No.
You got it.
No, it's the same dialogue as before, it seems. I could ask Juhani about that guy we saw.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Tell me about this Dak Vesser.
There is little to tell. Dak and I were both Padawans. We joined the Order at the same time. He was a kind man, but frustrated. He felt the Jedi were too controlling, too limiting. More so than I did. When he decided to leave the Order, he asked me to come with him. He said he loved me.
But you didn't love him?
No, I didn't. I enjoyed his company as a friend, but nothing further. I had no idea he felt as he did. He was angry at my refusal. I assumed that he would get over the hurt in time. I suppose such feelings can fester and darken, and they never go away. He reminds me of what I was when you found me in the grove. I feel sorry for him, but he has chosen his path, hasn't he? If I thought he would accept an offer of help, I would give it. Let us just move on, please.
Well, I guess feeling sorry for him is about right. He went to the dark side because he's an incel. Like, that's exactly what happened. Alright. Bit of an overreaction. My last chance. Let's give it one more go. Let's see if it doesn't bug out this time. That's an unfortunate number of bugs. Let's hope I can do some space travel without getting stuck in developer console mode or whatever that is. So what do we think's gonna happen in this ending? One thing that they're really heavy on is that they keep kidnapping people, or they keep turning people. So many characters are turning from the light side to the dark side and the dark side to the light side and so on. Like, I have a role in that, and half my party is people who have had a role in that and been involved in that and so on. I'm curious. The thing that Jolie said is that he probably kept Bastila alive and didn't kill her. So Bastila's probably been captured, which makes sense because you don't generally kill a character off that way, by having them just get captured and then presumably die off camera. That'd be a weird way to spend a character like Bastila, who's like the second most significant character in the game after the protagonist, basically. Like, Revan and Bastila are clearly like the main characters of the whole thing. So it seems like she may have turned. That's what Revan would do. Revan's either gonna capture her and she's gonna be like getting tortured and just in a bad way, and then we free her or something. Or the more tragic and more interesting outcome would be if she has actually turned in the time that we've been gone. Because we've taken, like, obviously in game, it's like, oh, it was like 3 hours, it's not that big of a deal. But in universe, it's like, yeah, we went to a whole new planet and solved its problems and whatnot. So, like, in that time, potentially, Bastila could have changed significantly. They definitely seem to be foreshadowing that idea because they keep talking over and over again. And by they, I mean her. She keeps talking about how she struggles with being on the light side and that she wishes it was a, yay, Karth's here, that means we made it. She keeps talking about how, like, she's jealous of how easy it is for me. Like, if only it would work for her as much as it does for... I don't know, let's just take people. I don't think it matters who I take here, does it? She keeps, like, expressing this envy over her, like, the fact that it was so easy for me to maintain the light side because she struggles with it, apparently. And the game's in-game meter displays the idea that she's, like, behind me on that aspect. That stuff's interesting. God, what do I do with mission? I don't think about her that much with her. Oh god, that's level 15? She's only level 14. Huh. We are late in the game now. Some of these characters did not get a lot of time to grow, but that's what happens when you split between so many people. Do I do toughness? Let's give you an implant. Wait, do you have... Shit, I didn't mean to do that. You have... Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, she has maxed out critical, so... she has the best skill for her particular setup. She's all about spreading the crit threat range. So giving her access to an... Oh, okay, she's a little further behind, so at least you get to level up a bit. Giving her access to that dex upgrade would be helpful. Wow, most of her slots are empty. Get a little dex here. Strength stuff's not very helpful. It's something. She's wearing a combat suit. That's also not good. So her dex modifier is +4. It's maybe not worth equipping her, because I don't know if she'll actually get much more use in combat, but give her something, right? 5 + 4, 5 + 5, well, fire resistant upgradable, why not? Darth Bandon. Look at her. It doesn't require a dark side or anything. Hey, HK. Wow, those are some A+ level up sequences I just did. I'm like, hey, would you like the same skills twice? That's all he gets to get. He got a passive upgrade, but yeah, like most of his level up was spent on nothing. I didn't get to give him basically anything. What a disappointment. Poor HK. Computer skill, security, ooh, security 6. Computer is 6. $11. That's a bit of equipment to work with. But he has no ranks in these skills. Yeah. It's hard to care about the bonus when his base skill is so bad. But that's basically all that's available for this entire slot is those kinds of upgrades, so whatevs, I guess. I don't remember because of the glitches. Did the lizard conversation canonically already happen? I think it did. Oh, they're back. We have our ways, Rodian. Just because you didn't hear us dock doesn't mean we can't. And your own stealth units have proven most effective. What do you want? We're here to teach you a lesson, Suvam. And you as well, human. Unfortunately, you won't live to correct your mistakes. Oh yeah? Swing, swing, swing. Oh, he didn't die instantly. I really should have brought a better combat group along. Oh my god. No! Alright, well. Let's get some of these upgrades in, because they're not gonna just go down easy. I'm apparently gonna be on my own here, because these characters both went down immediately. But my protagonist is a scary boy. Things could be going better, admittedly. Okay, things could be going better. Well, oh, autosave, okay. That's starting point at least. Oh, load the autosave and the game crashes, apparently, to the title screen. Cool. I'm just a little annoyed that I spent all that time customizing missions gear and leveling them up. So getting blindsided by what's apparently a very high level encounter. Oh cool, this autosave doesn't work. Okay. See you guys in a bit. I gotta fly to Yavin again and do the shooty fight, and then also level people up again, and just a bunch of sequences. We'll come back. Okay. Now we're gonna fuck them up. Just gonna roll up here and with some Jedi. Was a little tempted to use some lesser used people, but fuck it. Let's give all my duelist Jedi some chance to have no chance of losing. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Found out the hard way. Blah blah blah. We have our ways, Rodian. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Buff buff buff. Ow. Did I even cast speed buff? Okay, it did. Whoops. You require special attention. Okay. How's everyone doing over here? Not amazingly? Cool. What's the one buff on you? The Valor is on you. Let's give you some energy resist, then cast a heal. Force armor, yeah. Let's have you start with the heal. Defense. She's already casting energy resist, so yeah. Some crowd control. Okay. This guy's almost dead though. Why are you using critical strike? God damn it. It's not what you're good at. I don't want you to have that ability. You only have it because you're a smuggler. I can't unbind that key. Annoyingly. Okay, you need to be the party healer for a bit apparently. Because you are dying. Okay, she's already casting speed buff, which is good. That's what I want her to do. You are gonna be in trouble if you don't back up. Ooh, you just chose poorly. Oh, he's healing. Don't like that you can do that. Hello. Where you going? Where you going? Ooh, that's bad news. That's a spicy beat of bad news. I can't jump that far, dang it. Or it didn't trigger one way or another. It's time for the Jedi Blender. All things considered, Rodian's getting off pretty easy. He doesn't even have to help with the fight. That's nice. Hey, stop that. You. What? Can I do it again? No? He just didn't successfully do it. Alright. The attack still happened though. Just not the part where I go to him. I telekinetically attacked him with a melee weapon from across the map. Hello. Environmental bastion armor. Light exoskeleton. A bit of dex, but it's armor, which sucks. Stealth bonus, constitution and strength. 2 to 12 plus 2 to 12 is not bad. Mantle of the Force, upgradable item, lightsaber. The Mantle of the Force is an item assembled by Suvam Tan from pieces found in the ruins of Exar Kun's temples on the 4th moon of orbiting Yavin. It appears to be the remains of an even older artifact of unknown origin. It is not known if it was used by Exar Kun or just uncovered when its temples were destroyed. Nor is it known what the original properties of the item were, but given the current abilities, in its original state it must have been fearsome indeed. The mantle is a crystalline lattice, resembling a lightsaber crystal in many ways, but having the additional property of being able to radically alter the flow of energy that passes through it. When combined with other crystals, the mantle warps their properties, often enhancing them to incredible levels. Additionally, the mantle seems to almost act as a focusing tool for Force-sensitive individuals, leading to an idea that the original artifact may once have been a powerful tool for the Sith, or perhaps something they took with them when the Dark Jedi originally split from the Order. What? So it sounds like it amplifies the power of the other crystal in your weapon or something. That's what I'm getting from that. I'm curious though. So, 'cause I'm sure somebody can give me better answers here. Yeah, you put it in the hilt of the lightsaber and it makes the two crystal slots stronger. Like Fond gives you 1d6 damage, but if you have Mantle of the Force, it does 1d10 damage. This is a lot going on here. Or like Luxum gives you 1 attack point or whatever it's called, and then does 1d6 ion damage. But if you have Mantle of the Force, it gives you 3 attack points and 2d6 damage. Like, and in some cases doubles the effectiveness of your current buffs. Like, it's like oh. Hello. Another one that's cheaper? Though its origins have been lost, the legendary artifact known as the Heart of the Guardian was rumored to have been instrumental in the founding of the Guardian Order of the Jedi. Nothing further is mentioned in any Jedi archive, but both Sith and Jedi whisper their own legends. According to the Jedi, the Heart will appear in the time of greatest turmoil and deliver the galaxy into salvation. The Sith, however, believe it to be an object of their heritage, which will bring the galaxy under their dominion. The Heart of the Guardian appears to be a magnificently shaped lightsaber crystal of unknown composition. Analysis by Suvam Tan has yielded inconclusive results, not being able to identify what mineral it's made of. Suvam has even begun to wonder if it is a normal crystal at all, for at times it almost seems as if it were alive. All known lightsaber crystals seem to have a strange resonance with the Heart of the Guardian, their properties being altered or enhanced when in close proximity to it. Additionally, energy focused through the heart of the results in a beam of a unique clarity and color. So does each one change the color of the beam itself? Forgive me if I do a little research here. But they're really expensive. Huh. Yeah, there's color comparisons, and Heart of the Guardian looks like a red lightsaber, Mantle of the Force looks like a blue lightsaber. They actually don't seem to have unique colors in particular, so it's a little weird. That it's like, wow, how unique. It's almost how it's phrased, and it's like, it just does normal colors, it's fine. They're just red and blue. And there's a bunch of guns, which are getting less useful by the minute. Because more and more, I'm just using a bunch of lightsaber people. That's nice. 7 of everything. Mind-altering saves. Good injury plus 10. That's the stabilizer gloves I have 2 of now. Hello. Baragwin stealth unit, plus 3 dex. plus a 5 dexterity implant and 3 dexterity stealth unit? Motherfucker. Alright, we're gonna have to loot everything we can and then see what I can sell and see if I can get like one of those lightsaber crystals and those dex items. Because right now my implant gives me 2 dex, that one's gonna give me 5, and then my belt gives me no dex, so I'm about to gain 6 dexterity and a super lightsaber crystal, which is a lot. It is funny because when you think about it, like, unless they're gonna wow me in this next area, the difficulty curve has completely flattened at this point, and I'm an all-powerful super Jedi, which I guess lines up with the fact that I know I'm Revan now, and maybe we could say it's on me unlocking my power and whatnot, but holy fuck am I way too powerful. And I'm about to get scary. I'm about to have so much dex, like well beyond what you're even supposed to be allowed to have in D&D, probably. Let's save first. Just gonna have to do a bunch of like management here. What is the difference between the Heart of the Guardian and the Mantle of Force? Let's see. Looks like they're sometimes the same. Like Furkron gives you 3 attack points and 3d6 ion damage with either weapon, up from 2 and 2d6 without these upgrades. There's some light side only abilities with Solari Crystal, which I don't think do I even have a Solari Crystal? I guess what's worth checking is it would be good if I knew what crystals were my weapons. Which I'm not sure I do. Because that would help me know what to do here. I think I have attack modifier. I think I might have 2 Damonds in here. A Damond does 3 attack modifier. Yeah. So I think I have 2 Damonds in my weapon right now for 6 attack modifier, because I just wanted to be able to land attacks like crazy. Which might be overkill once I have all this extra dex. I might not necessarily need that, admittedly. It looks like in the vast majority of situations, Heart of the Guardian and Mantle of the Force give you the same effect. That is the thing, though. I would potentially want them both, wouldn't I? I would potentially want them both because I have 2 lightsabers. So, equip both of them. This is where it'd be... this might be the strongest argument in favor of being a staff Jedi, using a double-sided lightsaber. If you have the double-sided lightsaber, then congrats. You can just equip one of these and it'll affect your whole weapon instead of just one of your 2 weapons. It's definitely a point to be made there. This is gonna take a while. Let's come back in a minute after I've sold everything. 1 second. There's a bit of dialogue we need to cover before I can access the store again. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Where will you go? There we go. Now I can check out the store. Alright, I have been here for a bit. I have 82 grand now. And from what I can math out, I'm gonna need 77 grand for what I need. So, let's get purchasing. This is gonna be disgusting. Mantle of the Force, Heart of the Guardian, so I got the 2 crystals. There goes most of my money right there. It's so much. It's so much. We're looking for an implant, right? Yeah. 5 dexterity right now, 2200. And then a belt. I was shocked by that inclusion. Shit, where is it? The Baragwin stealth unit. Plus 10 stealth, plus 4 awareness, plus 3 dexterity. Jesus, man. So right now I have 23 dexterity. Let's see how this goes. +29 dexterity, a +9 modifier to my defensive stat and my hit chance. I'm just gonna stop missing now. Do you have a workbench in here? Please? 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 Now I'm gonna have to go back to my ship first. But back in my ship I'll have a workbench and I can install my ridiculous things. I'm gonna be sad though. On one hand, it's good news that I can get a modifier for my weapons that goes into the color part of the lightsaber, meaning that it's your only chance to ever upgrade those, so it's objectively the best thing to put there. But on the other hand, it changes their color, and that's a bummer. That's just kind of because it's a violet. I want it to be violet. I want it to be like the mantle of the Force. Disappointing. And the heart of the Guardian. Jesus. This one does 3 to 17 damage while having +5 to my attack modifier. That's lower than before. I had 6 before, didn't I? That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, so right now it's 4 to 18 +6 attack modifier. So I have a Crate Dragon Pearl and Damid. So it's, yeah, it's 3 attack, 2 damage. Is that in the 4 to 18? Let's see. Yeah, it's 2 to 16 normally. So the damage is applied directly. It's not listed as a separate damage in this case. But it's 6 attack modifier overall. And it becomes 3 to 17. Attack modifier +5. Blaster bolt deflection +3, even more. Then regeneration of force points, 2. So I have regen? Did you change? 2 and 3. It doesn't tell you how they changed. According to this thing I'm looking at, a Crate Dragon Pearl starts off at 3 attack points and 2 damage. Yeah, damage bonus of 2 energy is the normal amount. If you couple it with Heart of the Guardian, it becomes 3 attack points plus a damage bonus of 1 to 8 energy. So that's big. But if you couple it with the Mantle of the Force, it becomes 4 attack bonus and I lost my point. And 3 blaster bolt deflection, which blaster bolt deflection is definitely appealing, but the fact that you lose the bonus damage entirely is a little disappointing because it's like a shuffling around of the bonuses. Damned is 3 attack bonus. If you pair it with Heart of the Guardian, it becomes 3 attack bonus and 2 energy damage. So that's good. Here's where we lost it. If you combine it with Mantle of the Force, it becomes 1 attack bonus, 1 bonus damage energy damage, and then 2 regen points. So you gain 2 regen points, but you lose 2 attack bonus. This sounds like a downgrade in some ways, but the 2 force point regen sounds like it's probably going to be pretty good, and I'm getting so much dexterity from other items that I can maybe get away with not having as much, especially since the net change, because the Krayt Dragon Pearl gets so much stronger on its attack, because it does get an additional point. I'm only losing 1 point overall, so it's not that big of a deal, and these other changes are pretty good. But it does go down to 3 to 17 damage, which means that my sword is weaker than... It got weaker on damage. Whereas this one's 6 to 20. What do we have here? You got Nextor, which is crit threat range. Ooh. Nextor. Ah. Nextor just loses its bonus. It's normally 1 ability point and keen, which is the increased threat range. With Heart of the Guardian, it becomes 1 attack point plus a damage bonus of 1 energy. And with Mantle of the Force, it becomes 1 attack point plus a damage bonus of 1 energy. I don't think a damage bonus of 1 energy necessarily offsets the benefit of doubling your crit threat range. This one, Opila. This one does 3 bonus energy via... 3 bonus energy damage, but then it gives you 2d6 on massive criticals. In its upgraded form, it stays the same, but it also gains 2 attack points. So 2 attack modifier came from Opila. But, yeah. Nextor kind of got nerfed into oblivion by this change. So I should probably switch it out with, like, anything else, basically. God, this thing already has so much blaster bolt deflection. It does 2 bonus damage and 5 blaster bolt deflection. If I give it Heart of the Guardian, it gets 7 blaster bolt deflection. Whereas, ooh, if you give it with Mantle of the Force, it gives you +1 dexterity. Ooh. Sorry, I'm looking at a tree at this point, trying to sort out what I want from here. It's hard to say. It's really hard, in part because this game doesn't equip you very well with with its interface. It just doesn't give you that much to go with. So this has force regen, which is kind of good, but like that dex though. Like, that dex, though. Ew, Krayt Dragon Pearl goes from being 3 attack bonus and 2 bonus damage energy to being 4 attack bonus and blaster bolt deflection. So, let's take out the Krayt Dragon Pearl and replace this with, where was the dexterity one? Jenaru? Yeah. So suddenly it's a dexterity point. It just turns into that. Like, this screen doesn't tell you which crystal's giving you what. So it's like, doing this manually be a huge pain in the ass, this min-maxing. But now we have a dexterity point here. And which one of you sucked? Opila? Opila is massive crits. And it gains 2 attack bonus, which is kind of okay. Nextor gets nerfed into oblivion, but we can replace you with the Krayt Dragon Pearl, which will make you better, because Krayt Dragon Pearl is better with the Heart of the Guardian than it is with Mantle of the Force, because it gives you 1d8 damage, which is too much. I think the takeaway here is also that I want to switch these 2 weapons with each other. I should make my main hand the one that has 6 to 27 damage, and make my offhand the one that has dexterity modifiers and force regeneration. Like, this used to be my main hand because it's my purple one, but like, usually your offhand gets less use out of your stats. So having my offhand give me a bonus of 2 force regeneration and 1 dexterity should be pretty good. It is kind of a distinct color. They're blue and red, but they're like different shades of blue and red than all the other weapons in the game. Now I will switch them out with each other. Okay, I like that they at least look different. Now I do 7 to 28 damage and 6 to 20 damage with a +29 and a +25 to my stats, which is a lot. And I was able to get another dexterity out of it, which is not what I expected. I'm gonna do Control F Dex. Okay, yeah, that's the only mention of dexterity in the entire table. Just making sure there's not another weird surprise. There's some stuff in here. Yeah. There's some good stuff like Fond is 1d6 bonus damage and it becomes 1d10 with either of these upgrades. Somebody's probably broken down this table and figured out what the best things are ever. Bondar is a 25% chance to stun at DC 10. With Heart of the Guardian, it becomes DC 14 for 2 rounds instead of 1 round, so it's the DC is better and it lasts longer. Then with Mantle, it becomes Paralyzed on DC 14 for 2 rounds. I'm gonna lose my mind if I look at this for too long, honestly, so I'm gonna leave it here, I think. But sorry if this is a boring episode, but it's like me doing last minute prep before what seems to be the final planet. And they saddled me with some fucking complicated systems here. They'd be complicated to sort these choices out if I had full access to the choices, but in some of these cases, I can't even fully tell what I'm looking at, so I have to like interpret what I'm looking at on top of everything else. This is good shit. I have a dexterity of 30 giving me a plus 10. This is silly. This is silly. Yep, there's 1 dexterity there, there's 5 dexterity there. There's nothing on my robe, unfortunately. I never found a robe with dex, but there's 3 there. Surprisingly, there's 1 on my lightsaber now, and also a lot of attack modifiers all around. 3 on my bracers. I don't think I found any on... I don't think I ever found armor that gives you dexterity. Most of these are limited use items anyway, besides Brejik's armband, which gives you 5 slashing resist. That's the only one that I can find that's not a consumable. Because I would definitely take stats over consumables, like flat damage resist that I get to keep forever. That's a big bonus. Alright, well, I will now be monstrously overpowered. You have any final conversation to have with me, Juhani, for example, before I head out?
Got something on your mind, do you?
So when did you go to Kashyyyk?
Oh, that was not until many years later, to tell the truth. I spent quite some time wandering the galaxy.
The Jedi just let you go?
Why wouldn't they? I had refused my promotion to Jedi. I was a Padawan who had left the Order, nothing more. I traveled from one civilized system to the next, never staying long. I don't even think I knew what I was searching for. It wasn't as if my travels were pleasant either. There were plenty of folks who distrusted the Jedi after the war, or worse.
Worse? What could be worse?
If people weren't treating me with suspicion, they were looking at me with greed. I don't know how many thought they could make use of me for their own ends. I got so sick of the treachery and deceit. I left the civilized parts of the galaxy and headed instead for the uncivilized parts.
So that's when you went to Kashyyyk.
Actually, I was on my way somewhere else when I crash-landed on Kashyyyk. The ship I was using was a rust bucket.
That's interesting. Going somewhere completely different, but you accidentally crash-landed into the giant forest planet. I wonder how... I'm curious about the accidental crashing, just because there's so much open space out in the world. I mean, the galaxy, not specifically the not world. You survived a crash landing on Kashyyyk?
I'd taken some damage passing through an unexpected asteroid field, as I recall, but I wasn't completely without some systems. I could still guide her a bit when I crashed. It wasn't what I would call the smoothest landing, especially considering I ended up smack in the depths of the Shadowlands. But I lived.
That makes sense. He crashed into a much larger celestial object, basically, and then he guided his crumbling ship to Kashyyyk out of coincidence, basically. Why didn't you just fix your ship and keep going?
I'm no mechanic, and besides, after you plunge nose first in the trunk of a 5-kilometer-high tree, chances are you don't have much ship left.
So you crashed and stayed?
Sure, why not? It seemed like an interesting enough place to spend a couple of decades exploring.
How did you survive in the Shadowlands?
That was a challenge at first. You've seen the kind of creatures that exist down there, and you miss the really big ones. I was still able to rely on the Force to keep me safe for the most part. The rest of the trick is keeping out of the way of most of the predators.
It couldn't have been easy.
Oh, that's true. Still, most of the creatures grew accustomed to me, and I to them. At least none of them ever heard of a Jedi.
And the Wookiees didn't mind your presence?
Oh, they did at first, oh yes. I can't say I was overly pleased to encounter a group of indigenous giant carpets either, I can assure you of that.
You seemed on fairly peaceful terms with them.
Well, that was after 2 decades of helping them. They certainly didn't trust me at first.
You helped them?
When I could, I would assist a few young ones who would get lost in the Shadowlands or attacked unexpectedly by the wildlife. I must say, for a while there, the Wookiees actually thought I was some kind of benevolent forest god. Amusing, really. I set them straight eventually.
Why didn't you stop the slavery of the Wookiees then?
At first, when the slavers took to hunting down lone Wookiees in the fringes of the Shadowlands, I did my best to divert them. Later, when Shundar made his deal, I didn't see any point. I wasn't here to save them from their own sad follies, after all.
It sounds like you enjoyed being a god.
Nonsense. I had no idea that's what they were thinking for a long time. I just thought they were being friendly neighbors, leaving fruit and such for me. Later, when I started to understand some of their grunting, I realized they would say prayers to the Hairless One before descending into the forest. Hairless One. I used to have plenty of hair, I tell you. Well, at any rate, it took a few bruises, but I set the record straight.
A few bruises?
I traveled to Rookwaro and met with the chieftain in front of everyone. Freyr swatted at me just to see if I was real or not. I was real, and while it was a light swat, Wookiees are terribly strong. I was knocked out cold for a day. The Wookiees all thought it was quite funny.
Why didn't you stop the slavery of the Wookiees then? I said that before. I don't like this one though, but it's the only thing I'm allowed to say. Because I've already said this one before. It's like I have to say this weirdly smug thing. Wasn't it all a bit primitive for you?
Not really. Kashyyyk is a place you can feel very small in. It felt good to devote my time to helping people and living simply.
And you didn't receive any news from the outside?
What can I say? I did it all for the Wookiees.
How dare you? How dare you write that dialogue? The Wookiees? No. No. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. I did it all for the Wookiees. The Wookiees? So you can take that cookie and shove it up your...
The Wookiees? Well, okay, maybe I needed some time on a quiet and remote planet, but if you ever need a friend, an incredibly strong hairball isn't a bad call.
You are a very strange old man. No. No. You seem quite fond of them.
I suppose I am in a way, despite the smell. For a race of gardeners, they've developed quite interestingly.
Gardeners.
You remember the alien computer, correct? Kashyyyk was meant to be an agricultural planet. The Wookiees were made for a reason, or at least that's what I'm thinking. But I'm an old man who's had a long time to develop that opinion, so don't argue with me. At any rate, we should be moving along, don't you think? If you sat around this long in the Shadowlands, attack would eat you.
I've gotten very set in my opinion, so don't you fucking argue with me, you little shit. How dare you?
Got something on your mind, do you? Oh, I get it.
Damn, I keep thinking I'm done with dialogue, but then more comes up. It's probably because Juhani and him just leveled up, so maybe she has new dialogue too?
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Jake, just kidding. Just kidding. You never say anything, right? How do you feel about me being Revon? He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. Then there's the actual dialogue thing. You have anything to say about yourself, Zalbar? Yeah, no. He has nothing new to say either. That's all the stuff he said before. The people that do have new dialogue sometimes, though, I might want to take out and level them up and see if they have more to say again. It's really hard to say. They made the dialogue triggers surprisingly difficult. Is this where they put the drugs? Do I not know how to find the drugs? Oh. I don't know. I'm not really in a hurry to give him the blood drugs anyway, so fuck him.
Statement. HK. As you desire.
So it's computer skill, right? There's some computer use right there on the interface visor. You don't get computer skill from armor, do you? Is it only that one item? I can try it though.
Statement.
I want to try restoring your memory.
Commentary. That is unnecessary now, Master. I have been returned to you and my memory core is now fully functional. Statement. My functionality has now been fully restored, Master. I exist to serve Revan as your personal battle droid. In time, my assassination protocol can be restored, and at that point I will once again endeavor to eliminate any meatbag opposition you may have.
Oh. Okay. That kind of undoes that point, doesn't it?
Statement. 8. Commentary. Statement. In time, my...
No. Does the reveal of you being Revan just exit that entire storyline? You can't do it, like cool, you know who I am now. Alright. Do we get to have like your backstory now or talk more? No, it's just that's all we can say is that his memory's restored. I'm like, cool. Give me all that memory. It's like, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, what do you want? Your choice.
I'm here if you want something done right.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
I want to talk to you about your brother.
I've made my peace with Griff, so is there any... Okay, have it.
Nah, everyone's pretty flat, aren't they? There's not a lot of discussing to have. We're exhausted your dialogue, you don't have any, you don't have any, you don't have any. Maybe you? Yours is over too. So I guess I'll just take these two guys out, and I'll level them up, and then I'll try again to see if they have any more dialogue. Other than that, it's just, that's it. We're all out of companion development, except for anything that happens in the ending, I suppose. Because that is one of the things I was clued into early on, is the idea that like leveling people up can affect accessing their shit. So it's like one of our only avenues we have for trying to pursue this stuff. And so we do our best. His essential skills suck though. I guess I'll give him Dex. Hey, Canderous. Didn't we go all in on... I don't like you. I've given up on Canderous at this point, haven't I? He just feels so nonsensical. And if maybe if I knew from day one and like, oh, you just ignore the fact that he has a ranged weapon when you get him and he starts with a bunch of ranged weapon skills, you should just completely start over from scratch as him being a melee character because he'll get so many feats that it'll work out. Like if I knew that from day one, I could have done something smarter, but I just didn't know what was ahead of me, basically. And the whole thing kind of fell apart. Alright. Fuck, he has even the conditioning is the one I fill up as a backup, and that one's already full. So he has full conditioning, he has full power blast, he has full implants. I kind of don't know what to put points in at this point. What a disaster. I guess melee weapon skill. What a sad thing to be putting points into at this point. I don't know, I fucked him up, but they didn't help much because they made him an incredibly confusing character to set up, and so you kind of just have to like know how to game the system.
Sure.
He probably could have been one of the most powerful people in my party, but at this point he's even just as much of a disaster as he was when I got him, basically.
Yeah, what do you want?
No.
Choice.
No new dialogue from him. At this point, I'm probably just going to use my Jedi anyway, so everyone else is I'm just kind of saying goodbye to right now, maybe?
Yes, what's on your mind?
No.
Got it.
Alright, guys. That's it then. We've done our maintenance stuff post-final planet. Well, post-final open world planet. So we're now going to go to the Starforge coordinates, and I don't know how much game's left, but I imagine this is like me going to Ilos, for example. So we're probably going to enter the final sequence, and we're going to see shit go down.